In this video, we're going to show you how to install your Maverick R turn signal kit from WD Electronics. First, remove the cover in the center of the dash by lifting on the handle and sliding the cover back. Locate the power wire extension for the control module. It has two bullet connectors on one end and a black square 2-pin connector on the other. Connect the extension to the mating bullet connectors on the right side of the control box, red to red and black to black. Make sure the plastic insulation on the bullet connectors is fully covering the connections. Place the control module into the space under the hood. Wait to secure it permanently until all other harnesses have been connected. There are two styles of turn signal switches to choose from. In your kit, you should have a column-mounted lever or a rocker switch. Follow the installation instructions for the switch that is included in your kit. We will show how to install for both styles. Extend the telescoping wheel out all the way. Remove the two Torx bolts from the left side of the instrument cluster cover, shown here. Locate the column-mounted switch in your kit. It will mount with the WD Electronics sticker facing the driver. Locate the two long, partially threaded bolts and plastic spacers in the bag of hardware. Insert one of the bolts into each hole on the bracket. And slide the plastic spacer over the threads on the other side. Line the bolts and spacers up with the holes on the cover and carefully screw them in until tight. Feed the wiring harness with the white connector under the dash following the factory wiring. Make sure the wiring has enough slack to give the steering wheel full range of motion before securing the wires. Feed the column switch extension wire on the control module down under the dash through the hole shown. Connect the two mating white connectors for the turn signal switch under the dash. Make sure they clip into place. Remove a switch blank in your desired position for the turn signal rocker switch. If equipped, disconnect the factory socket from the rocker switch cover by depressing the locking tab and sliding it free. Install the harness for the turn signal rocker switch through the hole in the dash. Feed it through and snap the switch into place. Locate the wire with the 4-pin connector behind the dash and route it toward the control module. Feed the column switch extension wire on the control module down under the dash through the hole shown. Connect the two mating white connectors for the turn signal switch under the dash. Make sure they clip into place. Now feed the black wire with the two bullet connectors under the dash toward the control box. Disconnect the black ground wire on the power cable extension for the control module. Insert the two bullet connectors on the black wire from the switch inline with the ground wire on the control module. Mark 6 3/4-inch holes for each of the LEDs, 3 holes on each front corner of the machine. Our recommended location is shown. Once you've confirmed the location of the holes, carefully drill them out with a 3/4-inch drill bit. Starting on the driver's side, locate the side of the harness with the driver's side label close to the LEDs. Slide the rubber grommets off the 3 LEDs down onto the black and white wires. Next, feed each of the LEDs through the back side of the holes you drilled, followed by the rubber grommets. Install the rubber grommet into each hole from the front, making sure they are seated fully. Now push the amber LED into each grommet from the front to secure. Route the driver's side of the harness to the center firewall grommet, behind the steering rack and coolant hoses. Follow factory wiring as closely as possible, securing the wire away from any hot or moving parts. Leave the 4-pin connector at the firewall. Make sure to avoid the radiator fan and the suspension. From the firewall grommet, route the passenger side of the harness, following factory wiring as closely as possible, to the holes you drilled on the front passenger's corner, and repeat the same installation steps as the driver's side. Once all the LEDs have been installed, run the 4-pin connector through the grommet in the firewall, up to the control module, and connect it to the mating connector. There are 2 panels that will need to be removed in the center tunnel of the machine on 2-seat models. Additional panels may need to be removed on 4-seat models. The front panel is in the driver's footwell. It is held by one plastic clip on the bottom front corner of the panel, below the gas pedal. Once this clip is removed, the panel is held in with clips and can carefully be pulled towards you to release the clips and remove the panel. The rear panel with the rocker switch blanks and the 2 cup holders is also held in place with clips and can be carefully pulled upward to release and remove. Now we will run the long black cable with the 3 inner wires to the rear of the machine to control the rear turn signals. Starting at the control module, connect the 3-pin connector to the mating connector on the control module. Run it down through the same hole you ran the extension for the column switch. Connect the cable under the dash and route it down the center tunnel of the machine, following factory wiring as closely as possible. Run it under the shifter cover and back to the rear firewall. Follow the factory harness behind and up the rear firewall, then under the driver's rear fender all the way to the driver's side taillight. Unclip the 3-pin factory wiring harness that is connected directly to the driver's side taillight housing. Install the 3-pin taillight adapter with the extra 2-pin connection and the red and black bullet connectors into the driver's side taillight housing. Connect the factory taillight harness to the other end. The 2-pin connector will be used to power the license plate frame in a later step. Unclip the 3-pin factory wiring harness that is connected directly into the passenger side taillight housing. Install the 3-pin taillight adapter with the long white wire into the passenger's taillight housing. And connect the factory harness to the other end. Feed the white wire behind the rear bumper across to the driver's side taillight, following the factory harness. Now we will connect the long black cable to the taillight adapters. Connect the red, black, and white bullet connectors on the black cable to the mating red, black, and white bullet connectors on the adapters at the driver's side taillight. Make sure that the rubber insulation is fully covering all metal on these bullet connectors. Connect the factory taillight harness to the other end. Install the horn in a suitable location utilizing an existing bolt under the hood or dash. The horn can be installed using the included bracket and nut, or by mounting the stud on the horn directly through a hole and using the included nut on the backside. For this machine, we recommend mounting the horn to the driver's side frame under the dash as shown. If you do not want the horn in the cab, you may also mount it to a bolt on the outside of the firewall. Make sure it doesn't contact the suspension when it is compressed. Remove a switch blank in the desired location. Next, feed the horn harness through the front of the hole and press the switch into place until it clicks. Make sure the switch articulates freely once installed. Locate the harness on the back side. Route the black and red spade connectors to the horn and connect them to the two flat terminals. These spade connectors are reversible and can be connected in either direction. Run the remaining black 2-pin connector with the blue locking clip back to the main control box. Connect the 2-pin connector to the mating connector on the control box with the same blue clip. Using the license plate bracket as a template, hold the angled tab of the bracket in your desired location to the left of the backup camera. Mark the center of the holes and drill holes for the rubber well nuts. Push the well nuts into the holes you drilled. Locate the power extension wire in the license plate kit. Connect the 2-pin adapter on the power extension cable to the mating connector on the driver's side taillight adapter. Feed the other end with the bullet connectors through a hole in the rear grille behind the holes for the mounting bracket. Installing your license plate functions best if you use a pair of regular scissors to cut a small tab out of the top of the license plate as shown. Leave enough space for the wires to come through. Now use the small nuts and bolts included in your license plate kit to mount the plate and frame to the license plate bracket as shown. Connect the bullet connectors on the extension wire to the mating bullet connectors on the license plate frame, red to red and black to black. Install the license plate bracket using the well nuts you installed. Now hold the bracket in place over the well nuts and fasten the mounting bracket to the well nuts, keeping downward pressure on them as you tighten so they grip behind the plastic. Secure the wires away from any hot or moving components. Choose a suitable location with nothing behind the plastics to mount the blue LED dash indicators. Make sure the harness can reach the control module before you start drilling. Our recommended location is directly behind the steering wheel on the trim panel. Mark and carefully drill out the holes. Install the rubber O-ring onto each LED and slide it up to the top. Install one LED into each hole. Then install the locking washer and bolt on the back side of the plastic and tighten them down. Connect the 4-pin harness to the main control module and route the wires under the dash. Connect the red and black spade connectors on one side of the harness to the back of each LED. The spade connectors are reversible and can go in either direction. Locate the Can-Am accessory power connector under the dash cover. This is located next to the battery terminal post. Remove the connector from the white dummy plug by depressing the locking tab and sliding the connector free. Connect the 2-pin connector on the power extension wire for the main control module to the Can-Am accessory plug. Make sure you hear them click into place. Finalize all the wiring and verify everything is secured away from hot or moving parts. Now you're ready to reassemble and test out your lights.